Hey guys, my name is Juraj, I'm from Driftmoon, and I'm here in Strasbourg in France to see the live performance of Fairy Tale album launch party The Wizard tonight. It will be live with Sarah Shields, Poppy, Daniel Candy will be there as well, Ludovic Age, myself, and of course Ludo Fairy Tale. So I'm really hoping to see you there, and it will be really an amazing experience to all of us.
So how are you today, Juraj?
I'm actually really tired, but it's good. We are preparing for the live performance tonight. It will be really an amazing experience, and I'm excited. I'm really excited for it because it's the first time for Ludo. It's basically the first time for me as well, so I'm really excited.
How was last night? What were we doing last night?
Last night we prepared for the live performance. It was stressful to make everything work and to see all the instruments and the vocalists perform together, but it was good. It was eventually turned out great, so I'm really hoping tonight will be even better.
What will be your part of the live performance tonight?
I'm actually just playing Geometrics live with Ludo, a couple of plugs and pads, and we will see what will work tonight. It feels like I'm a bit underused there because I'm here just for the one track. I was supposed to play on cello as well, but I couldn't bring it over. So yeah, I'm just here for the one track tonight.
But you're also going to do a DJ set with Ludo afterwards.
Yes, that will be a back-to-back set. I think it will be like back-to-back with Daniel as well. We will see what will happen, but yeah, it will be for a DJ set. But that's not a priority tonight. I have the feeling that tonight is all about the live experience and prepare for the possible tour in 2015 for it.
Yeah. Speaking of the cello, that's pretty cool actually to me because it's an old instrument, right?
Not really as old as you might think, but it's one of the most classical ones, and it's not as difficult to master as, for example, piano or violin on the high level. It's really etheric instrument for me, really beautiful, and it really focuses on the part of music which I love because I have a little bit of an orchestral background and I love making orchestral music, and cello is a huge part of it. And I have friends who play violin and I have friends who play the bass, and I didn't have anyone who plays the cello, so I was like, yeah, I might as well learn it myself.
What does DJing give you as a producer if we flip it around like that?
That's a good question. I think DJing is the best way for a producer to showcase his material, his vision of the music, what he wants to do in the future, because you have access to the tracks and the music which is not access to the general public yet. So you can showcase it to people, see what works. That's the very important stuff for me, that I can actually see if my own stuff, before it's even signed, if it works on a party. I saw a few tracks in Russia last weekend which worked really well, so I knew that I took the right direction. It's an amazing way to see the world. I really love traveling, I really love meeting new people, and it's amazing to see the world and meet the different cultures and how people react on different music, because every country is so far really different. You know, if you play the same set in Russia and the same set in UK, for example, you will get totally different response from the crowd, so you need to adjust.
How was Russia a couple of weeks ago?
Cold.
Yeah, I saw the photo.
Russia was cold as hell actually. It was really good gig. Mm-hmm. There weren't too many people, but that's not a problem because the crowd there was really pure trance, to say it like this, to use the term. They asked me to play most of my tracks since the Driftmoon started. And it was the first gig I had when I saw people cry. When I played my old tracks, I played Howl at the Moon and they were crying. I was like, okay, this is really getting emotional for me as well. It was a good gig.
You come from a medical family. Both of your parents are doctors, right? And your sister studied as well?
They both work in the medical field, my parents, and I shifted towards the musical.
Yeah, how was that? What did they think of that, or how did that go?
We didn't really ever have in-depth conversation, what do they think about it, but as far as I know, they weren't really supportive. Like, they were really scared if I will make my living and if it is good and if someone even can make a living in music, because they didn't have too much information about the scene. It was a huge risk I took, but it's starting to eventually pay off, that it was a good choice to make. And they are both really supportive. My sister is really supportive. She was a huge fan of me since I started DJing when I was young. Mm-hmm. So now it's good. It took some time for them to convince that I can take care of myself and I can make the music, and the music is good and it will get the support. So, you know, they are just like regular parents. They are scared for their children if you will make a good choice. So I can understand it. With more time passing along, I can see that, you know, it was all justified from their side.
Yeah. If we go back to you and yourself, when you made, not when you made the decision, but when you sort of decided that you want to do music and you want to give it a 100% shot, Were you convinced that it would work?
No.
No?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't convinced even when I studied university the first 3 years that it would work out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got there and I was like, what did I make? This was a stupid decision, and why did I do it? And I was the first one to get to the dormitory where we were living, and I was there alone for 3 weeks before everyone else got there. And it was the worst 3 weeks of my life when I was just thinking about if this was a...
What have I done, right?
It was seriously, every day was, what have I done day? It was... No, I remember that when I got to UK, I flew back to Slovakia after 10 days because I couldn't handle it. I was like, this is too much. And then my dad, he was really hard on me, like, you need to get back and you need to finish this, you wanted this. So probably that was the push which made me finish the school.
But your dad also does have a musical background, sort of, because he used to DJ, right?
Yeah, he used to DJ, yeah. This is what people usually don't believe me when I say someone that my father is a doctor, but he used to DJ during the Soviet era. I was like, yeah, he DJ when he was on high school, if I'm correct. And he did have a huge musical collection when we were living together, and he kind of got me into it.
Yeah, because I know he was the one who taught you how to listen to music, right? Different kinds of genres.
He was the one who had the huge musical collection, and we listened to many stuff at home. Basically everything new, we listened to it. And yeah, he kind of showed me the musical scene, even without knowing that I would like go my way in it.
How musical were you before you went to study music?
I went to study music when I was 21 to UK, but before that I was mostly DJing. Mm-hmm. I did some production basic starts, but that was really nothing worth the time. So when I went to UK, I wasn't really an established producer, to be honest, and it was a huge risk. But before, it was mostly about DJing. But I knew that in Slovakia and Eastern Europe, the DJing will not be enough, to make my living. So I will either make the choice now to finish the studies or to move to UK, and it's kind of the UK one.
So going through your DJ career, I know maybe not a lot of people know this, but 7 years ago or something like that, you played after Tiesto, right?
Yes, I was supposed to play after Tiesto in Slovakia in Košice, in Steel Arena, if I'm correct, if it's still the name of the arena. But I had some health problems and I wasn't able to make it on stage from 4. So he was playing until 5:30, and then I went on stage for 20 minutes. And it was amazing that he was able to go on stage and continue the set and wait because there were some problems. It was really, really well done from him, like to say it like this.
How would you compare your DJ career back then to right now? Because right now you're in a different place, right? Or do you feel it's a continuation of your career before?
I think it's totally different career, to be honest, because back then, I don't want to say that I didn't take it as professionally as I do it now, but it was completely different because inside I didn't really believe that I can make a living with it. So, you always treat it secondary, a little bit. But right now, music is the way I live, music is my career, so I really take it professionally. I try to make it as clean as possible, as professional as possible. Eventually it will just hit you that now this is my career and, I need to make it happen, I need to work hard for it.
You told me right before the interview that you produce music 12 to 14 hours a day.
Yes, every single day. Every single day. Since the moment I wake up until the moment I go to sleep.
How do you, basically what I want to ask you is how do you do it? I mean, because to me, creating music is being creative.
Yes.
But you can't force creativity, I guess. Or
you can a little bit. You can always go around it with the creativity. But the thing is that I have Mika. Mika is my creative god, to say it like this. It's amazing to work with him, and the ideas he sends me are just worthless. So.
You told me about your way of working. I actually heard
people won't believe us.
I actually got to hear a small sample as well.
Yeah, Mika, he did hear a small sample, the vocal sample.
Tell us about your way of working, Mika's way of working.
Well, usually, at least recently, what happened in the past month, I was the one who was finishing stuff, and Mika was the one who was starting new stuff. Apart from the funny stuff is the remix we did for Tala 2XLC, the funky one. He never even heard it. I just made it myself and sent it to Tal.
Mika didn't hear it?
Mika heard it, I think, first time on a State of Trance when they played it. He was like, why is that our name? I was like, that's our remix. Really? That's good. Okay. I was like... So yeah, he didn't hear the one, but the recent ideas, he started all of them. Really, really good music. I was quite surprised in a really positive way. Mm-hmm. and he's starting to think. I can see Mika evolving from the original point where we met a year and a half ago until the moment he's now. He has opened up his possibilities. I don't want to say that I was the same, to be honest, because when we compare our oldest music, so whatever say about him applies to me as well. We were stuck in certain vision, certain point how to make trance, to make it good, and then we kind of left the point and we were like, I don't want to say fuck it, but to be honest, yeah, we were like, just do whatever works, and that's the reason you will open up and you will want to experiment more, and then you will realize that it actually works. And recently with Mika, the recent stuff we made, I'm just quite surprised that we even made it. Because I'm listening to the tracks with Mika, this doesn't even sound like anything else ever.
What does the recent stuff sound like? If we were to open your computer right now, what would we found?
A lot of ideas and nothing finished. What would we found? The newest tracks, for example, the one called Stellar, which is, we both saw the Interstellar movie and we loved it, and then the NASA kind of released samples from their space voyages and stuff, and we were like, yeah, we will use it and we will make a track. And it's really, I want to say, innovative, because it doesn't sound like anything else usually made in the trance scene. And we try to push the limits a little bit harder and to experiment a little bit harder, and it seems to be working out really well.
How would you describe Mika as a vocalist?
Experimental. That's the best way to put it. Well, when he started the idea for a vocal track when we heard the Shelter Photographer remix, which is absolutely beautifully. So we started working around the idea to have a vocal track. And he wrote something, and he was like, I wrote down lyrics, and I want Kim to sing it. And I want you to show how she is supposed to sing it, so I will sing it myself. And then he sent me a demo, and I was like, okay, well, it's good. It's really good. It will work with her vocals. Not yours, but it will work with her vocals. But it's really good that he can think as a vocalist, and he can make the demo already prepare it for her.
Yeah, it helps in the production process as well, right?
It speeds it up completely. I can see Mika, because for the first projects he sent me over to finish, which was, I think, Exodus was the first one, or Drifter, they were really messy, nothing was cleaned up in the project itself, no color coding, for example.
And I heard the project names were messy too, right? Or yeah,
horrible Finnish names everywhere. I was like, dude, what am I supposed to make out of this? But recently I can see Mika like sorting out everything in the best way possible, that the projects are clean, all is tidy, everything is ready. He realized as well that we are speeding up the process, so you don't want to waste time sorting the projects and finding where is the kick, where is the bass, okay, what did you do here? Just, it's really clean and open. So that helps a lot with the process as well.
With your, you have a pretty good stream of releases coming out, or about to be released as well, and you guys almost make it look easy production-wise. How easy is it? Not easy, but you make it look... Yeah.
Specifically, what part?
Well, to produce good tracks.
I honestly think that being a duo is much better than being a solo artist, because two head know more than one head, which is true. But the thing is that when I make something and I really think it's good and I send it over, he has got different sense of ear, and most of the time he tells me it's good, but change this. Yeah. And he's right.
Yeah.
And we are the same. He sends me something, and I work on it. I rework it. I change the stuff. Okay, this works much better now. So it's really good to be. And I say it in every interview I make. But being a duo speeds it up completely, because I trust Mika completely with everything. We have a contract between each other to keep everything clean. So that's very important, because most of the people don't realize. But it's business mostly. He's a very good friend of mine, but we have to realize that it's a career for me and him, and it's business. And we want to keep it clean. We want to keep it. What's the word I'm looking for? That both of us professional as well, but we need to be able to see through everything, every contract. He needs to know the details. I need to know the details. Yeah. We need to know all the payments. We need to know all the deadlines or the fees, whatever. When we are paying for mastering, we need to know the fees. So both of us. So he's not like, what did you do here, and what was the contract about? We want to see. We have a mutual Dropbox where we share all the invoices and all the contracts. That speeds it up completely, and we don't waste time. It's not wasting, but we don't waste time talking about, okay, what do you think about this contract, and do you think it's a good idea? No, you can just have a look anytime you want and check it. So that's very good. And production process, it's not really easy, it takes time. I spent a lot of years trying to make the right sound until I realized that you can't really have the right sound. You will just have your own sound if you're lucky. Most of the people I listen to and most of the music from the people I play do have its own sound. The producers do tend to use the certain techniques all over again. Some of the producers use the same techniques all over again.
Yeah.
Then it sounds super boring and unplayable after 3 or 4 tracks because it's same kick, same bass, and same chord progression, just inversed or just reversed. So it doesn't work for us. Every track we make is special. We had a condition with Mika. We will never use the template twice. We will never use the project twice. We will never use the melody twice. Everything needs to be fresh.
Yeah.
We were a little bit angry when Leviticus came out because people were saying it's the same as Exodus. It wasn't. It was the same idea turned into a brand new concept. But it's fine, we got over it. We were like, okay, we will try to make it more distinguished. The Genesis, the third part of the trilogy, it's actually a collaboration with Alexander Popov, which will be out on Armada next year, hopefully. There is collab with Rise and Flame, where I play the cello one. That's a good one. That I'm really looking forward to for people to hear what they think. A couple of originals on Armada, a couple of originals on Driftmoon audio as well. And the new releases, we want to polish them, make 4 or 5, and slowly start preparing an album, which we want to make 2015.
We're going to go back to both Driftmoon audio and the album, of course, as well. But how do you feel the pressure from other DJs? I mean, when it comes to your productions, and the pressure from other DJs, from fans, and from yourself?
I don't really feel the pressure from the other DJs for my music. If they want my music, they might as well simply ask for it. I will gladly send it over if I trust them enough, because I know a few of the DJs share the music too much, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So I try to keep it to a minimum so it doesn't spread out too much. And with fans, we have amazing fans so far. I have never seen one negative, feedback on a gig like this track doesn't work live well. But with production, it's like I don't really feel the pressure from anyone else because I don't really talk with anyone else, to be honest. I talk only with certain
friends.
It's really funny when I think about it like this. When I started, I tried to be friends with everyone, to try to be open with everyone and be honest, and then you realize no, it will never work out.
No.
It's all about keeping the right people with you. People who trust in you, people who you trust. And who try to push you, who try to make you better, because you don't want someone who is just living off your fame or living off your success. That will always drive you down. So, and everyone needs to go through this. People actually tend to realize this after a few years or months that you just can't have everything. You need to specialize and select. That was very important. Yeah.
What was the main reason to why you guys started your own label, Driftmoon Audio?
Too many tracks. We had a backlog catalog of releases which we didn't know where to sign. When we wanted to sign to label, we already had a few releases lined up there, and we just didn't want to end up like a project which is signed everywhere to every label just to have a release. So we were like, we will create our own label, and we will release our own stuff there and stuff from the people who we trust. That the music is great, just they are just not getting enough attention, and it's getting up pretty well so far. The releases have very good support. Both were in Beatport top 10, or not top 10, top 100 in trance. We have a few of the releases lined up for 2015. I think 5 or 6, 2 of our own and 4 others. There is a track from Anthony Waldhorn, track from Airborne from Lithuania, I hope, which is with vocals from Kim Kiona. There is one EP from Digital X from Ukraine, and 1 track from Johan Stone from Iceland.
How does it feel to be on the managing side of a label when people send you tracks? You used to be on the other side, right?
I used to be on the other side, but I work as an AR for Abora for a long time now, so I'm used to it. But even before, where I didn't work, producers just tend to send the tracks to each other. Give me feedback. What do you think about this song? I'm kind of used to it, yeah. Now it's a little bit harder because I have to be more honest.
Yeah, because it's your own label.
Really
right?
sucks. These really sucks. Yeah. No, we are never like that. Usually the tracks we get are really well produced. They are just missing a few bits over the tracks, but it's really... We didn't have a track so far, a demo submission, which was horrible. No, the music people send us is actually really good. And a few of the occasions we even try to push them to the bigger labels because we think that it's really possible to get there. You have to be patient. Sometimes it can take few weeks to get that answer. You know, just send it over. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But it's a chance you need to take. It's a very good track. You know, you can make it more, change a few bits there, and send it to for example, to Arbada, or send it to Enhanced, or wherever you want to send it. Because even despite that we love release music, you know, we want artists to push themselves to a little bit more. We don't just want to give them the release just to have their track out on our label.
Yeah, you want them to grow as well.
Yeah, we want them to grow, especially the artists I have on the label. I consider personal friends. So when we talk, they actually listen when we tell them to change something, and they actually try to make it better. And it happened, I think, twice now, the two producers, that we told them how to make it better, and it was so good that they actually got signed to the bigger labels.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and it works.
yeah, it works. It really works. You know, we can give them a release. You know, I will tell them it will be out in March. Okay, good luck. No, but that's not the point. It's not about just having a release to have a release, you know, for the sake of it. If you can make it better, just try to make it better. It's always better to have a better release on a bigger label. You know, it makes you more visible.
We're about to go into 2015. You just told me about an album.
Yes,
what are your feelings?
We think so.
I think it would be possible as well. Do you have any ideas on the album as of yet?
As of yet, well, it will be quite vocal, it will be quite orchestral, but it will be really uplifting, what we want to make. Because we tend to work a lot with Kim, with the singer, and we, three of us have totally different vision of music. But when we combine it, it's something unique, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Each of us is doing something completely different for the track. For the new vocal track we started with her, we each did something, and when Kim added the vocals, I was like, oof. Wow. But yeah, the album is really possible, especially now when Mika realized that he can work so quickly.
Yeah, you told me he had a week off and he like sent
He
you...
didn't even have a week off.
No?
He had a full-time job and he got home and he made a new track and he sent it over. Even yesterday, when we were at the dinner, I was like, I don't want to turn my Wi-Fi on because I will get the message from Mika. Voila! Message from Mika. Dude, new track, new demo, just check it. But it's awesome. I love seeing him being so productive. And this is the first time in my life when I'm with him that he made so much music that I don't have even time to finish it as of yet.
But it does sound like good times coming for 2015.
Definitely. We are really excited for 2015. Especially with the releases we lined up in 2014, which will be out in 2015, but the new music as well. The new music will be out of this world. Out of this world. Hey guys, this is Juraj for Driftmoon. Thank you for watching, and thank you Victor from Kidson Media for the amazing interview as always. So see you soon.